A lot of Christians depend on weekly church services for our spiritual health. With the coronavirus scare, thousands of churches around the world will be closing for the foreseeable future. And where does that leave us? Are we supposed to just sit around and stream movies until our church is open again? Do we not get to grow spiritually because there's a virus scare? Definitely not. I think that this virus thing is actually the perfect challenge at the perfect time, because it's time for Christians to take personal responsibility for our faith, for our relationship with God, and for our own spiritual growth. And if you're wondering how to do that, I really think that the spiritual disciplines of the ancient Christian mystics are the perfect place to start. This video is about how to practice spiritual health at home like a Christian mystic. So, what is spiritual health? The ancient mystics followed Jesus' teaching of love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And they divided the human soul based on that teaching into 4 dimensions or powers. The first one is the mind. That's our power of logic, of reason. It's what I think. The second power is the heart. It's my desire. It's what I want to be, what I want to become, what I want for myself in life. The third power is the soul. It's my feelings and my fears. It's what I feel at a deep subconscious level. And the fourth power is my strength, my body, its needs and its appetites, and what I do with it. The ancient mystics believed that these soul powers are often at war with each other. The cupcake that my body really wants to eat right now is not aligned with the vision of future health and well-being that my heart has for myself going forward. A lot of times my mind knows the right thing to do, but I don't do it because at the deep level of my soul, I'm afraid of the consequences and I chicken out. The ancient mystics taught that spiritual health and growth depend on bringing the powers of the soul into harmony with each other. To do this, we have to train each power until we can love God with our whole selves. And each power of the soul is trained in its own way. The mind is trained through spiritual reading. Spiritual reading is a process of reading the Bible that works to uncover the deeper message of the text. And I'm going to make a video that teaches you that skill, how to read the Bible spiritually. The mind is also trained by learning to let go of its delusions and fantasies and face the world as it is. Mindfulness meditation is a great way to train your mind to do this, and I'll also be making a video about Christian mindfulness meditation that you can follow along and meditate with. The heart is trained through self-control and surrendering its desires to God. Mindfulness meditation is another great way to train your heart, but so is fasting from food or other pleasures and distractions for a set period of time. And I'll be making a video about fasting as well. It's also important to have a discipline of daily prayer so that you can align your heart and your desires with God's desires for you. The soul, or what I feel, is trained through active spiritual love. There are compassion and loving kindness meditations that you can do to train your spiritual love, and I'll be making a video with one of those that you can follow along with too. But another great way to train the soul that you can do right now is to make it a habit or a routine in your life to pray for the needs of others. Right now, if you're stuck at home, call some people and ask to pray for them and ask them what they're worried about, and offer prayer and support to them through your compassion for them. And we already know how to train the body. The body is trained through proper diet and exercise. And this is important because the body is the vehicle that all the other powers of the soul ride on. And so maintaining a healthy body as best as you can is very important also for your spiritual health. And you might be wondering, how can I measure my spiritual health? How can I see where I'm at in this whole thing? And it's actually not that hard to sort of diagnose yourself. First, you need to make some time and you need to sit in silence and try not to think about anything, and then watch what comes up into your mind. If you can't sit still without angry or impure thoughts bubbling up, then your mind needs some work. That power of your soul needs some exercise. If you can't sit still without thinking about things to buy, things to consume, or things to accomplish, then your heart needs some work. If you can't sit still without your fears surfacing and everything that you're worried about, you need to work on your soul. And if you can't sit still without falling asleep, without being totally uncomfortable, or thinking about how to make your body happy with sex or junk food, then your body needs some discipline and some training. If any of these things come up while you're trying to sit still, or if all of them come up, don't judge yourself. The good news is that everyone has spiritual work to do, and there are lots of specific things that you can do every day in each area. Practicing spiritual health feels kind of weird at first, especially if you're going to do meditation or spiritual reading for the first time. Just remember that spiritual health takes time and daily discipline. So try to make a little time each day to work on each dimension of your soul. As you practice spiritual health, the love of God will grow in each power as they start to harmonize with each other. Your mind will learn to love God by being able to focus more and hold knowledge of the truth. Your heart will learn to love God by desiring for yourself what God desires for you. Your soul will learn to love God by trusting and loving God at a very deep subconscious level. And your healthy body will love God by allowing you to do the other practices and also by being ready to help other people when they need it. So if you're practicing social distancing, or your church is closed, or you just always wanted to try a more mystical approach to the faith, now is a great time to start. You can check out the other videos that we're going to do with meditations and practices so that you can start training your soul powers right now. And whatever you do, make sure you're practicing spiritual health at home so that you can keep growing and becoming like Christ a little bit every day, no matter what the situation is around you. The New Testament is really clear that it's through adversity and times of trial that people are shaped and that we grow spiritually. So make sure you participate in this process. Don't give in to the fear and the panic and the worry that's just sort of all around us right now. Take steps to use this opportunity to grow in your relationship with God and to grow in your self-control and in your character as a human being. Hit subscribe to watch out for those other videos, and I'll see you next time until Christ is formed